Sean Dyche's Burgundy Army are known for their full Brexit football, but after a poor transfer window, the side are looking like relegation candidates. The Claret are desperate for a saviour, and hopefully we can bring some exciting football to Turf Moor, as well as taking Burnley to the top of world football. So if you've had the pleasure of seeing one of my rebuilds before, there are a couple of rules we need to go over. The first is the objective, which is to take a team to Champions League glory. Up until that point, all games must be simulated, but we will eventually be playing in the Champions League final. There are no restrictions on the transfer front. They can be as realistic or unrealistic as I want. Keep in mind your favourite player could be sold during this rebuild. If I do, I apologise in advance. Make sure you enjoy the video and stay tuned for the next few. So the first look at the squad, and I can say that our squad is extremely old. We've got lots of players. The only real young talent we have is McNeil. But other than that, the squad is pretty old, so we've got a lot of rebuilding to do. The first things we're probably going to need to do is find a new right back. That is probably the first thing we need to tick off, but from there I guess I'll just make improvements where I can. So I guess bring guys back when we make our first piece of transfer business. So I had a look through our youth squad, and this guy here was the only decent player we had. Jens Holzel, I'm pretty sure that's how, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but this is who we've got. It looks pretty decent, looks like he would be a pretty decent player for backup, and if we need to sell him later on. So I'm just going to leave him at the club, and I guess I'll see how he develops. So our first piece of business on the transfer market in charge of Burnley is the departure of Ben Mee. The English centre-back is the captain normally, but he's a bit old and not that good for the rebuild, so we have decided to sell him, and he's going to Arsenal for a fee of £17 million. So for the departure here, guys, we have sold Dale Stephens. The midfielder is leaving us, and he is joining Bordeaux for a fee of £5.2 million. So another departure here, guys, and it sees us selling Jay Rodriguez, and he is heading to Hellas Verona for a fee of £7.6 million. So another departure here, guys, we have decided to sell Matthew Lowton. The English right back is leaving us to join Everton for a fee of £5 million. So we've also sold Ashley Westwood here. The English midfielder is leaving us to join Porto for a fee of £14 million. So we have signed our brand new right back here, guys. We have decided to sign Ainsley Maitland-Niles from Arsenal. The wing back is going to be converted to our normal right back, and hopefully the Englishman can provide a lot of quality down the width, because I know that he's got it in real life, so just depends if he can carry that over playing for Burnley in career mode. So another departure, we have decided to sell Ashley Barnes here. This striker is leaving us, and he is joining Fulham for a fee of £11 million. So we have signed a brand new striker here, guys. We have decided to sign Odsonne Edouard from Celtic. The French striker is joining us here from the Scottish Premiership. It's a big step up for him, but I'm hoping the Frenchman can repay the faith we spent in him, which was £14 million. But I expect him to do big things for us here at Burnley. Him alongside Chris Wood should be pretty decent for our front line for this season. So our departure, guys, we have sold Eric Peters. The left back is leaving us to join Eibar for a fee of £2.75 million. So we have signed a brand new centre-back here to partner Tarkowski. We have signed Mason Holgate from Everton, the English centre-back who can also play right-back if we ever need to. We've signed him for £18 million, and it's a pretty good deal for a pretty good player. Hopefully it can be pretty good for us this season. So I have another departure, guys. We have decided to sell Jack Cork. The English midfielder is leaving us and joining Lazio for a fee of £9 million. So almost no time after selling Cork, we have signed his replacement in Maxence Cacaret. The French midfielder joined us there from Lille, and we had to fork out a pretty hefty fee of £20 million for him, but hopefully the Frenchman can provide some good support for the remainder of the rebuild and be one of our star midfielders. So after the departure, we have sold Charlie Taylor. We have sold our left back. He is joining Porto for a fee of £13.3 million. So guys, we have signed a brand new left back. We have signed Domagoj Bradaric from Lille. The Croatian left back joins the club for a fee of £14 million, and hopefully the Croatian can be a pretty decent fullback alongside Maitland-Niles. So as you can see, we've had a pretty busy window. We've brought in 5 players. We have brought in Maitland-Niles, Edouard, Holgate, Cacaret, Bradaric, and got rid of quite a lot of our older players. Our starting 11 is looking like this going into the first half of the season. We've still got quite a large sum of money left, but I just wanted to see how the squad developed and what positions we really need to improve on in January. So I guess I'll bring you guys back when we are in January. So we're actually doing extremely well in the Premier League. We're currently sitting in 8th, which is a lot higher than what I expected. I expected us to be hanging around like the 14th to 10th mark, but I mean, if we're pushing higher up the table, that's only a good thing, right? Because as you can see, we are only 1 point off of 5th, so it's very tight. We've got a lot to do. Could potentially push quite high in the league this season, which would be nice to see, but Hopefully we can make some reinforcements in January, and I guess bring you back if we make any signings. So I have another departure, guys. We have sold Johan Berg Gudmundsson. The Icelandic midfielder is leaving us, and he is joining Valencia for a fee of £12 million. So I have another departure. We have sold Robbie Brady. The Irish midfielder is leaving us, and he is joining Ajax for a fee of £7 million. So we have signed our brand new right midfielder. We have spent the big bucks. We have spent over £48 million bringing in Ismaila Assar from Watford. The Senegalese winger is absolutely rapid. The only problem is his weak foot, but we should be able to improve that with the development plans. So I'm hoping that the Senegalese wide man can provide some good support out on the wing and be an integral part of the team moving forward. So at the end of the transfer window, we spent a whopping 48 mil on Sol, as well as getting rid of Gudmundsson and Brady. This is how the starting 11's looking now. As you can see, it's quite strong in most areas. We've got a lot of people in the 79s, a few people over 80 now. We just need the likes of Kakaret to grow a bit more, same for Bradderich and Maitland-Niles. We'll probably need to find a new midfielder as well as a new striker for Chris Wood, as he's old now, but the squad's looking quite strong. I reckon we can potentially hold out for a top half finish of the table at this rate. So I guess bring you guys back at the end of the season. So I'd say we've had a pretty successful first season here in charge of Burnley. We've ended up coming in 8th. We've brought some good youth players into the squad, meaning they're going to grow some more next season. So we should be able to push quite far next season. We should be able to maybe push for Europa League football potentially, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. Hopefully just staying at the top half of the table is our main focus for next season, but I'm going to bring you guys back at the start of season 2. So we have got a pretty good fee for Chris Wood here. We managed to sell him to Sheffield United, and we managed to obtain £22 million for him, which is pretty good fee for a 29-year-old striker. Hopefully now with the funding from him and the funding we got from the board, we should be able to pick up a pretty good striker to partner Eduard. So over the departure here, guys, we have decided to sell Kevin Long. The Irish centre-back is leaving us to go join Parma for a fee of £1.6 million. So guys, we have made a pretty big signing here. We have signed Luka Jovic from Real Madrid to be our brand new striker. The Serbian hitman joins us at the club for a fee of £56 million, and hopefully with him and Eduard up front, we should be scoring more goals this season than we have in the last one. So hopefully with him now up front, we should be able to push for a higher spot in the Premier League. So the arrival of Jovic being the only piece of business in, we focused on quality over quantity. We got rid of Wood and Long. So this is how our starting 11 looks. As you can see, the squad is looking much stronger than it did at the start of last season. Only Brownhill not in the 80s. The rest of our squad has all hit at least 80, which is always a nice thing to see now. We just need Kakaret and Brad Arich to grow a bit more to go along with the rest of the squad, but as you see, on a whole, the squad's looking pretty strong now. So it just depends on how results go and depending on how the team plays while we sim in. So I guess bring you guys back when we're halfway through the season. So guys, halfway through the season, it turns out we're actually gunning for a Champions League place. We're actually doing really well. We're excelling from where we were last season. Currently beating Man United. If we can carry on and just try and get point by point, then I don't see why we couldn't push for Champions League football, because I mean the squad's getting stronger now. With a few improvements in some places, we could have a real good squad on our hands with a good chance of pushing deep into any European competition by come the end of the season. So I reckon we are definitely going to be getting European football this season, whether it be Europa League or Champions League, I'm not too sure. But I'll see if I can make any signings, but if not, I'm just going to bring you guys back on deadline day. So no business in the January transfer window due to spending all of our budget on Jovic, who was a worthwhile signing, so it doesn't really matter. But this is how our starting 11 is looking. We just need the likes again of Kakaret, Maitland-Niles, Holgate, Brad Arich to continue growing along with the rest of the squad. Sarr at 85 now, Jovic at 85, McNeil at 80. Pope's gone up to 85. I may actually end up keeping him because I was planning on selling him, but he's just kept on growing. I didn't think he would due to his age, but he just keeps on growing. So as long as he keeps going up, then there doesn't seem to be any need to replace him. Tarkowski is a position I may look to picking up someone else new, and Brownhill is someone we're definitely going to need to find a replacement for next season. So hopefully we can continue our hot streak of form and maybe push for Champions League, but Europa League football is just fine by me as well. So I guess bringing guys back at the end of the season. So it was an extremely close battle in the end. The likes of us, Liverpool, Man United and Wolves were all battling it out for a Champions League position. Unfortunately, it was ourselves and Wolves who lost, and Manchester United and Liverpool who will be obtaining Champions League football for the next season. However, I still see a lot of positives because we have climbed up 3 positions and we were extremely close to pushing for Champions League football. At least this gives us another season to definitely set ourselves in, and potentially we could still win the Europa League. We don't know that yet, but honestly, if we keep improving like we have been, I can't see us not pushing for Champions League football next season. With a few more signings, the squad should be all good. So I guess I'm meeting you guys back at the start of season 3. So guys, we have signed a brand new midfielder for the squad here. We have picked up, I would say, it's a pretty well-renowned player. We have signed Dele Alli from Tottenham for £70 million, which is a very nice figure for the Englishman. I'm hoping that he can develop a bit more. We are always converting him to a centre mid to fit into our 4-4-2, but hopefully with him being a bit more attacking minded and Kakarot being a bit more defensive minded, those two should be pretty good in midfield for us for the remainder of the rebuild. I'm hoping he can grow a bit more, maybe reach the potential. I know he's fallen out with Jose Mourinho in real life, so hopefully he can restart his career here at Burnley. So I guess I'll meet you guys back if we do make any more signings. So guys, we were running low on decent centre backs if whoever else got injured, so we have decided to sign Felix Udekai here. He is joining us from Augsburg for a fee of £13 million, and hopefully the German can provide some decent backup if we ever need it. So at the end of the transfer window, we have brought in 2 players in Ali as well as Udekai. This is how our starting 11 is looking now. As you can see, we just need the likes of Maitland-Niles, Holgate and Kakare to continue growing. If Tarkowski keeps growing, that'd be nice too, because it means we don't need to pick up a new centre back, but he is the weakest link in the squad at the minute, so he will be a position we'll look to improve on in the future. We are a bit thin on decent players for the bench, so we may be looking at bringing in some backup in January, but we've got the first half of the season to worry about. Hopefully we can be around the top 5, because we really need to push for Champions League football this season. So I guess I'll bring you guys back when we are halfway through the season. So currently halfway through the season and we are doing extremely well. We are currently sitting in second, 2 points behind Man City who are in first. We have got a pretty good chance of maybe pushing for the title this season. By the looks of it, we are going to be pushing for Champions League football, so that's always going to be good because that means we can push deep into the Champions League hopefully next season. But see if we can make any signings, and I guess I'll bring you guys back when we do. So we do have a departure here, guys. We have decided to sell Maxence Kakare. The French midfield hadn't grown as much as I'd hoped he would in his time here at Burnley. He went up to an 84, but I was hoping he'd at least be around 86 by now. So I've decided to sell him in hopes of signing somebody who is a bit higher rated and can maybe push a bit higher and improve the squad a bit more. So he's gone, he's leaving us, he's joining Bayern for a fee of £70 million. So guys, we have picked up a brand new midfielder to replace Kakaro. We have signed Nicolo Barella from Inter Milan. The Italian playmaker is joining us here at the club for a fee of £70 million, which is under his valuation, so we picked him up for quite a decent fee. Hopefully him and Dele Alli can be pretty good in midfield for us. I know Barella is a bit more defensive minded than Ali, so hopefully we can alternate, but I'm suspecting with those two in midfield, all we really need is a decent centre-back, and next season we could push deep into the Champions League. So we were lacking in depth on the width, so we have decided to pick up Salis Wamagituka here, the Congonian midfielder. He can play on either wing and can also play striker, so it's a pretty decent pick-up. We picked him up for 13 mil from Stuttgart, which again is under his valuation, but obviously he's only got 2-star weak for. He's got 5-star skills though, however, so if we train him up on that, then it could be a pretty decent super sub coming on for us, because like I said, he can even play on either wing or can come on top to give Jovic as well as Eduard a rest. So at the end of this January transfer window, we have brought in 2 players in Barella and Wamangituka. We also sold Kakare, so we've made some big improvements to the squad, as you can see right here. We'll just need the likes of Holgate to grow a bit more with the rest of the side. Obviously Barella and Eduard, they're going to keep growing anyway. In the minute, Pope's continuing to grow, so we're not really going to need to pick up a new keeper. However, if the time comes when it stops growing, then we may end up looking to pick up a brand new goalkeeper. Obviously Tarkowski is going to need to be replaced next season. So with a brand new centre-back, I can really see this squad going places. We've got McNeil at 90 now, we've got Saw at 89, so he's almost at 90, and Jovic at 88, so we could potentially have a few players hitting the 90s by the end of the season. Hopefully McNeil will keep growing because he is definitely our standout player at the moment, but I guess it'll be guys back at the end of the season. So guys, we were so close to the Premier League title, we were 1 point off. That is absolutely incredible. The fact that we managed to get 94 points and that still wasn't enough to win. So Man City do get themselves another Premier League title, which means we're going to have to wait until next season for a chance to win it. So we may not have won the Premier League, but we did go and win ourselves the Carabao Cup. And we also managed to win the FA Cup, beating Liverpool 3-2. And we also won the Europa League. I mean, we've picked up 3 pieces of silverware this season, so we've got Champions League football anyway, but obviously winning the Europa League means that we would have got it even if we didn't push into the top 4. Let's see how we do. So we're in the group. We had Ghent Rangers and FK Austria fine, and we lost the game. I'm surprised we lost the game in this group, but who do we have in the round of 13? We beat LASK 5-0 on aggregate on the round of 16. Oh, we beat Sevilla 3-2 on aggregate. In the quarterfinals we beat Valencia 5-2. In the semis we won Barcelona 5-3 on aggregate. And then we beat Atalanta 4-1 in the Europa League final. So it was quite a successful season overall. Obviously had 2 new additions in the midfield to our squad. Picking up a new centre back next season, and with that we should be able to push pretty deep into the Champions League, I reckon. So this is a transfer I don't think would ever really happen. James Tarkowski is joining Real Madrid, which is absolutely crazy, but our English centre-back is leaving. He's going to join Zinedine Zidane's Galacticos for a fee of £44 million. So we have managed to pull in quite the centre-back here, guys. We have signed Marquinhos from PSG for a fee of £80 million. We've managed to pick up the Brazilian on quite a bargain price. Yes, he's 29, but he is a lot higher rated than Tarkowski, and if we're pushing deep into the Champions League this season, I'd much rather have this higher rated, older, experienced centre-back who's had the likes of playing at the top for most of his career, playing alongside the likes of Thiago Silva. But we've brought the Brazilian here to Burnley, and he's going to be partner of Mason Holgate, and we've still got a huge fee left, so we may look into improving some of the rest of the pieces of our team. So as being guys back when we figure out what to do next. So guys, we have decided to sell Nick Pope. I did want to keep him, however I've decided that it's probably better for the squad if we pick up a world-class goalkeeper. So we have sold him, he's leaving us and he's joining Everton for a fee of £60 million. So guys, this is an absolutely massive signing. Once again, we have brought over another Brazilian, but this time we have signed Edison from Manchester City for a fee of £100 million. That is an absolutely massive fee, but there were 2 reasons behind it. Obviously, first off, Edison, absolutely cracking keeper. Hopefully with him in between the sticks, with Marquinhos in front of him, we have the Brazilian link up there. But another reason is, with this we have weakened Man City as well. So realistically, we killed 2 birds with 1 stone. So hopefully now with Edison in between the sticks, we can really have a good chance for the Champions League this season. So guys, we've decided to pick up a brand new backup goalkeeper here. We've obviously had the arrival of Edison, now we need someone else to go in between the sticks for a backup. And we have signed Marco Bizot here, the Dutch goalkeeper, joins us here from AZ for a fee of £10 million. So guys, we have made a brand new backup striker signing. We have signed Ollie Watkins here from Aston Villa. The English striker joins us here at the club for a fee of £19.7 million. So guys, we have decided to pick up a brand new backup left back. We have signed Yusuf Kone here. The Mali left back is joining us here from Lyon for a fee of £14 million. So I've spent a massive amount of money in this window, bringing in the likes of Marquinhos, Edison to improve our starting 11, Bizot, Watkins and Kone providing some support if we ever need them. Tarkowski and Pope are obviously gone out of the club for £100 million for the 2 of them, so that's pretty good. This is our starting 11 is looking at. Literally all our entire starting 11 is going on international duty apart from the guys whose teams aren't actually on FIFA. But as you can see, we've got Sarah McNeil, who are both at 91 now, Edison, who's obviously at 91, Jovic at 90, Bradaric and Maitland Niles both 89, Marquinhos at 89. Holgate, Barella and Eduard are our lowest rated people in the starting 11, but I'm hoping that we can still push pretty deep into the Champions League this season. But first off, we need to see who's in our group. So for our group in the Champions League, it's not the hardest. We've been drawn with Lyon, Porto and Spartak Moscow. I reckon that ourselves and Lyon will be the ones going through, but it all really just depends on how our games turn out. So guys, we have managed to finish top of our group here in the Champions League, so we are going to move into the round of 16. It'll be ourselves and Lyon going through, Porto dropping to the Europa League. We have drawn against Napoli, which aren't the strongest side that we could have first off, but are still a pretty strong side, so we're going to have a really good game defensively and maybe pick up a few away goals if we want a chance of progressing. So we're currently sitting third, and we are just behind on goal difference against Liverpool, who are in second. Chelsea only 2 points ahead of us though, so we are still pushing for the title this season, so if we grab that as well, that'd be a pretty successful season. But now that we are in January, I'll be back if we do make any signings. So I forgot to renew Gibson's contract, and he is departing because I was too busy focused on other people. So he is leaving us and he is joining Marseille. So we have a departure here, guys. We have decided to sell Max Thompson, and we've sold the English strikers. We needed some funds in order to renew some contracts, and he is leaving us for £1.2 million, and he is joining Berlin SS. So no new arrivals in this transfer window does leave our squad pretty unstable due to injury, if we have any injuries, which is what we are suffering from, because we are missing Luka Jovic, Ismail Yassar, and Dele Alli is also suspended for the first leg in Naples, so some of our rotation players are really going to have to step up in this first leg. So I've got the first leg here away against Napoli, and as previously mentioned, we are without Sarr, Brownhill and Jovic. No, we've got Brownhill without Dele Alli, but they've got a nice side. Hudson-Odoi, Mukiele, Gabriel, Lunin, all really good young talent, as well as Lima. We pick up a 1-0 win away from home. That's a decent result. Obviously it's not brilliant, but we've got an away goal and we've also got a 1-0 advantage over them going into the second leg. So I've got the second leg here now at Turf Moor, and we've only got a 1-0 advantage, so we could really do with keeping them out, or at least picking up another goal. Jovic is still injured, but luckily Sarr and Ali are back in the side, which does give us a big push. They aren't playing Lima, which is a good thing. I'm not too sure why, but we grab a 2-0 win. That's perfect, so we're through now. They didn't have a single shot that game, but I'm not too bothered. We've gone through, so I guess I'll bring you guys back when we find out our quarter-final opponent. So I've been dealt a major blow, a major roadblock, not a blow, but we are up against Barcelona here in the quarters, which obviously we're going to have to defeat the big sides if we do want to win, but I would have at least liked to have faced them a little bit later, but if we get them out now, then that leaves another European giant out of the path for us to go for the proper final. So yeah, I guess I'll bring you guys back when we are hosting Barcelona. So after home leg first, which isn't ideal because we could really do with putting the pressure on Barcelona, but they have a chance to put it on us. Obviously Barcelona have an insane side, it's only to be expected, but we did manage to beat them in the Europa League last season, so as long as we can do the same here. We get a 1-1 draw, obviously not ideal them having an away goal, but at least we should be able to keep the pressure on them in the second leg. So second leg here, we are travelling to Barcelona to play Barcelona, but we've got a slight advantage, I'd say now, with us having the away leg now, but it's still going to be a very difficult game. And we win! We go through on the away goals rule, we draw again. However, these 2 away goals, Eduard with the 87th minute equaliser to put us through. Oh, that is good. We've managed to knock out Barcelona and progress all the way to the semi-finals. So we've been drawn up against Villarreal here in the semi-finals, which means they must have knocked out Real Madrid. The other 2 teams are Chelsea and Dortmund, so obviously still some strong teams, but I'm still surprised Villarreal won, so we're going to have to be very careful if we did knock out Real Madrid. So I guess I'm bringing you guys back when we are travelling to Villarreal. So after the first leg here against Villarreal, and we are missing Jovic, so Ollie Watkins gets the nods up front for us. Jovic is suspended for this game. Villarreal's team's not actually that strong. Obviously they've got Alphonso Davies and Kabak, Demiral and Borre, but apart from that, their side's not really that too special. Of course though, we pick up a 2-2 draw. We've got 2 away goals though, however, but I really would have liked to at least keep a clean sheet against them. So after the second leg here now, it is the home leg. Obviously a 2 away goal advantage is very useful, but once again I still can't believe that side was actually able to beat Real Madrid, but luckily Jovic is back. And we grab a 2-1 win, which means guys that we will be attending the Champions League final here in season 4, which is quite incredible to think that we've managed to take Burnley, who are currently sitting in the relegation zone, to the Champions League final within 4 seasons of taking charge. Jovic and Sarr picking up the 2 goals to send us through. So the Champions League final here on the 25th of May 2024 will be between ourselves and Borussia Dortmund. So once again, we miss out on the Premier League title by a single point. This time we lose it to Chelsea. We just don't have much luck in this career mode, do we? Just turn 1. We were beating them on goal difference as well. If we'd have just turned one of our losses into a draw, we would have won the league. However, at the start of the season, guys, we did end up winning the Community Shield over Man City. So here's our final overlook at the squad before we get into this Champions League final. We've had some players hit really ridiculous ratings due to the brand new dynamic player potential. You can have players reach heights that you never really would expect. Let's see if the likes of McNeil now at 92. That's pretty high. Dele Alli is now an 89 as well, as Emilius Sarr as a 91, and Luka Jovic and Eduard have been pretty decent up front for us. Hopefully now all we have to do is overcome Dortmund and the Champions League trophy should be ours. So Dortmund will be kicking off this Champions League final here. We have got a pretty difficult game ahead of us because the likes of Haaland and Sancho both going to be in the 90s now, and that midfielder is no joke either with the likes of Brandt, Højbjerg and Rice, so gonna have to be pretty good offensively as well as holding our own defensively. Some nice play out the back leads to us getting a chance here to play Luka Jovic through on goal. Cuts inside. Good block from Pau Torres. Ball played out wide for Sancho, who got onto it. He's managed to get across Badaric, but it's a poor whipped in ball, easy for Edison to collect. Dortmund with the chance to go ahead here. Edison, it's a good save. And it's cleared off the line by Marquinhos. We have a chance here. Ball played over the top. Can Ismail Assar get onto it? He can. Oh, beautiful. Training his weak foot was definitely worth it with that goal right there. And Ismail Assar makes it 1-0 here for Burnley. Lovely ball over the top. Just beats. I can't remember who it was, but we've managed to grab a goal here. Quite early in the game as well. Just a simple left-footed finish past Roman Berkey. Chance here. Ball played through by McNeil, and Edouard should be scoring here. We gave away a free kick and not a very good position here for us. Laid off. Julian Brandt shoots, and it's a great save from Edison. Straight into his bottom right hand corner. Dele Alli with the ball played over the top. Can Dwight McNeil get to that? He should. Cuts back. Plays it. Here's Edouard. Dele Alli in the middle. Plays it with a nice 1-2. Edouard scores! Lovely 1-2 between Edouard and Dele Alli leads to a simple finish past Roman Berkey. Edouard does not make the mistake this time. Lovely driven goal into the bottom corner on his left foot. So it is nearly half time. We've managed to get a 2-0 advantage going into the second half. Dortmund have got a lot to do in the second half, but we've defended pretty well. We've attacked pretty well as well, but we've held out pretty well. So we will be kicking off the second half here. A 2-0 advantage going into this half is very crucial. We need to make sure we don't grab an early goal, or else this game is back open again. Ball won in midfield from Barella with a pass played down the line here. Here's Edouard. Cuts inside, nice little shimmy, good finish. This is basically game over. I can't see Dortmund bringing this back now. 3-0's a pretty big scoreline for a Champions League final. Holgate's over the top pass is going to be reached by Ismail Assar here. Dinked in is Jovic. Headed wide. Ismail Assar with the ball out wide. It's a lovely ball crossed in. It was met by Edouard, and he should have really finished that. How has he not scored that? We're nearing the full-time whistle, guys. The crowd's singing Champione already. Oh, we've got a late chance for Edouard to get his hat-trick. Can he grab it? He can't, he hits the post. Recycled in though. Can he grab it this time? He cannot. Still piling on for pressure. Jovic. It's collected by Berkey, but that should be full-time now. As soon as this gets played. Yeah, there it is, guys. We have managed to win the Champions League with Burnley here. It took us 4 seasons, so pretty decent, I would say. We've obviously had some really good players come through with us here. The likes of Edouard, he hit pretty highly, as well as Maitland-Niles and Badaric. Those two have both grown a lot more than I expected, but with the likes of them in our defence, obviously Edison in net now, it was always going to be a difficult game for Dortmund. It was obviously difficult for ourselves, but we were also a lot more aggressive in this. They had a few chances, but nothing really too meaningful other than that early scare that we might have had. But honestly, I'm proud of the team. We came a long way, so I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of the celebrations.